Awesome. So just before I get started, there's a number of people here who's going to be helping me out in the chat just in case it gets busy. What I'm going to do is I'll go through the presentation, but if you have questions, write them in the chat because we've got Janine, we have Hanan, and we have Adrian on the line. They're going to be taking notes of the questions so I don't miss a thing. And Adrian, if you could introduce yourself before I get started, that would be really helpful so people know who you are.
Hello, everybody. My name is Adrian Betton. I'm a procurement director, which equates to basically a corporate buyer. I am one of the people that manages how tenders and bids and proposals are managed in organizations, and I award the contract. So alongside with Michelle, I'm here to give you advice and anything that you need to know about this event that we're putting on, which will help you specifically get that corporate contract. That's what we specialize in doing. I'm the one responsible for looking at your bids, evaluating your proposals and tenders and bits like that. And I make the decision alongside a number of other people as into how it's awarded, so I can help. But I'm here supporting Michelle in what she's doing here, which is brilliant. And yeah, I'm just here to help. That's what I'm here.
Awesome. Good. So we play different roles, but we're all very supportive. And remember, guys, which is really important to me is I just want to give you whatever you need to accelerate your business, your career, whatever it is. That's fundamentally what I do day in and day out. Anyone knows me that I'm always going to give. So if there's anything that you hear me say today and you want it, then that's perfectly fine with me. Yeah, because when you win, I win, we all win. It's all good. All right. Yes, everything will be recorded, and in an email tomorrow, I'm going to put this recording on YouTube, and I'll give you all a private link so you can access that anytime. All right. So that's what we're going to do. And then towards the end, I'm going to tell you about the event that I want as many of you to come to, because I've got some corporates who are looking to work with you guys. All right, but I'll tell you a bit that when we get started. So let's get going. And people are coming in, so that's no problem. The guys will cover that. So as we said, this is the Entrepreneur's Guide to Securing a Corporate Contract Without Tendering. Now, this may not be music to Adrian's ears, because Adrian deals with tenders, he deals with procurement, but that's perfectly fine because we'll cover that as well. But this is specifically for people who don't want a tender, who don't want to go through the procurement process. Now, if anybody has tried it, you know that it's long and it takes a lot of manpower, it's labor intensive, but it does serve a purpose. But for today, I just want to show you some other ways that you can do it, which means you'll go for slightly smaller contracts, all right? If you want the large contracts, 250K, 500K, you will have to go for a procurement process, but we're going to be looking at ones like under the 200K mark where you may not need to tender, all right? So good. So let's get started. I want to know from you, what do you want to get out of today's session? Just write a couple of words. What do you want to get out? And then Adrian, if you could just read a few of them for me, because I want to make sure that even if I have to tweak my presentation, that you get what you want. Standard. So tell me what you want. What are you looking for?
I want to understand the process.
Nice.
Understanding the tenders and process, that's what we can do another time. Pointers and best steps to take. Mm-hmm. Language to use and speak, very good. Yes. Clarity on the process, okay. Want to be ready. Process again in general, a different strategy that I can make to start to finish quicker. Clarity on the process, there's lots of that there.
I love that. So
how to get the attention of buyers. Yep.
I love that. Process is coming up a lot, which means I think there needs to be, I'm going to show you part of the process, but what I might do as well then is, I don't know if you guys know about flow diagrams and flow maps, so I can show you visually, I don't have that here today, but a visual map of You start here, then if they say this, this is what you will say. If they do this, this is what you will do. Would that be helpful to anyone if I create that resource for you guys? Let me know in the chat. Would that be
Lots of yeses, lots of yeses, lots of yeses.
okay? Good. So I'm just making a note here to remind myself to do this. Brilliant. Okay, good. We get that done. Nice.
Good.
All right. So for those that don't know me, most of you do, but some of you may not know me and you're thinking, who's this girl? So I'm a leadership development coach and trainer. I'm also the CEO of the People's Partner, which is a coaching consultancy. I've won a number of awards here in the UK and also abroad. I'm a university guest lecturer. I do a lot of public speaking here and also in the UAE. I'm a TEDx speaker and a global trainer, but that's the bit I want to impress upon. I've done a lot of training. Here are some of the brands, and I've never tendered for any of them. Now, some of them you may recognize, some of them you may not. Some of them are in the UAE, some of them are small companies. I tried to put the bigger ones, but there's a number of smaller companies as well. But I've never tendered for any of them. And the reason why I can safely say that is because I got most of these through referrals and recommendations and meeting the people themselves, the decision maker. And that's what I want you guys to do. I want you to know that it is so possible, because none of these I have had to tender for. And some of them were smaller contracts or one-time contracts. Some of them were multi-year contracts. Some of them were, might be twice. It could be just a speaking engagement. Some of them training, some of them are workshops. I don't sell a product per se, so I didn't have to sell a product, but some of these, they take products. If you have candles, or if you do fruit baskets, I know that some of these companies, they take that as well. So this is not predominantly just for service users. If you're a product-based business owner, there's something for you as well. But what I want to cover today is this. I want to show you where your profit leaks are, things you are missing out, which are right in front of you. And I want it to be back into your focus, right? I want it to be back into your focus. So I'm going to show you the profit leaks and how to fix them. I'm going to also show you how to identify the corporate priorities. So some of you might have seen my presentations before, because this is not my first rodeo, but there are new priorities and I want to show them to you today. And I want you to identify how can you fix those priorities, all right? And I want to share with you where you find them. And it's not rocket science, guys. I'm going to tell you it's not a rocket science. Nothing I'm going to share with you today is rocket science. But I want to show you, because some people need reminding. Some people might need to be held accountable to make sure they follow through. But I'm going to give you the platform to put all three of those into practice. I'm going to share with you. So the first thing, profit leaks. You're not activating your existing network. It sounds simple, but how many of you can safely say that you utilize your network? Trust me, I am one of the biggest networkers and I don't even utilize my own network, not to the extent that I should. So there's a many of you, you're not using, and there are people, I'm in your existing network. How many of you use me? There's people here who are speakers, you are consultants, you are wealth strategists, you're money-making consultants. There are people in your network that you can utilize, but we're not using it. We're not charging enough. Hands up who falls into that. I have to put my hands up. I have to put my hands up. I don't charge enough. It's a leak. It's a leak. We're not getting in front of enough decision makers. The people that hold the purse strings, we're not in front of them enough. One of the things I'm doing with my members, we're going to do 10, what did I call it? 10 before 10. And this is what somebody else told me about, where we're going to make 10 calls before 10 a.m. in 1 week and see the results, because we need to get in front of more decision makers. We're having great conversations that go nowhere. They're just dead. It's like rolling stones. It's not going anywhere. So we need to be aware of those profit leaks. We're getting stuck in the feast and famine. One month we're making lots of money, some months we're not making much money. So we need to be really, really conscious of that. We're talking to people who are not the decision makers. We're trying to make friends with everybody, and that plays a role. The insiders and the influencers play a role, but we need to also get to the decision maker. Yeah, so that's another profit leak. Not having multi-year clients, writing proposals that get ghosted. Who has that happened to? Let me see, show of hands, put a yes in the chat. Listen, mine have been ghosted. I'm not even gonna lie, mine have been ghosted. Understand, people, I'm only a few steps ahead of you, right? I'm only a few steps ahead of you. Mine get ghosted, but I must say most of my proposals don't. But I can see where I went wrong, and I'll share that with you. Creating new programs that nobody's bought. How many of you have created your entire program, then tried to sell it? Do not do that with corporates. Even if you have a framework, that's fine, but you don't need to have your products already sorted. You don't need to waste time doing that. And you're wasting too much time posting content on social media without a strategy. So put a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the chat box. Which one resonates with you the most? Let me know. Which one resonates with you the most? And let me know in the chat.
We've got ones, we've got 10s, 7, 3, 1 to 10 completely, 3, 1, 6 and 10. 3s are coming up quite often. 1 to 10 again. 5, 7, 6. 6, 1 to 10 completely again.
Right. Well. Okay.
3 and 4.
We're going to save this chat so we can make a note of these, and we can build resources to make sure that you're all supported. Whether you're members of my membership or not, I'm not even here to try and sell you any membership, but I want to make sure that we all win. So we'll make a note of that. So these are the 3 biggest problems. You're not talking to enough decision makers because there's a visibility and proximity problem. That's the problem. You're not visible to them. They don't know you exist. You're not close enough. This event that we're organizing, I have never been so close to some of these corporates. I'm speaking to the buyer at Shell. I've been speaking to the commercial buyer at BP. And I'm no one special, but now I'm close to them. I'm visible to them. So not only am I trying to get them to come to the event, but I can now start to sell my leadership and development programs to them, right? So it's a visibility and proximity problem. Wrong conversations with decision makers. You're talking about things that's not relevant to them. There's a control and clarity problem. You're not controlling the conversation, and you do not have clarity on what they want. But I'm going to show you the 5 things. This is research has been done. I'll show you the 5 things. And they don't want to be sold to. So there's a relevancy and urgency problem. It has to be relevant to them so they don't feel like they're being sold to, and it's got to be urgent. So many times we have such great products, great services to us, but it's not to them. So we need to change the game on that. All right, we need to change the game so that you get in front of them. Because right now, 70% of B2B decision makers, that could be decision makers of, and they don't have to be big corporates, they could be universities, they could be startups, but well-funded startups. They could be small businesses that have a turnover of $2 million or more. Yeah, so don't think of the massive, massive corporates. Sometimes we need to think a bit smaller, all right? But they're saying 70%, they said that they will make remote purchases at up to £50,000 £50,000. That's to work with us. 27% said that they'll spend more than 500,000. Who wants some of that 500,000? Me, I've got 2 hands up. 2 hands up. All right. So these are some of the things that we need to be doing. You have access to millions of businesses, non-profits, trade shows. If you go to trade shows, they're full of businesses. There's colleges and universities, there's small businesses, there's startups, over 5 million organizations. So no one can say that there's no organizations, and your competitor does not own all of that. So there's space for you if you're a wealth strategist. There's space for you if you do strategy. There's space for you if you do well-being. Definitely if you do well-being, there's space for you. There's space for you if you're a marketer, if you're a digital marketer, there is space. So why you? You are a small, sometimes some of us might be freelancers, some of us are solopreneurs, but we have niche expertise that you're looking for. Trust me, I'm talking to the companies, they're saying they want people with niche expertise. You're competitive with your pricing, you're agile so you can change and very flexibly, and you are responsive to their needs. So you can change at a drop of a hat. You don't need to go through lots of different hierarchies. And that's what they get with Accenture. That's what they get with Deloitte. These other consultancy firms. There's so many chains of commands. But when it's just us, we're the perfect position. And they want to work with more diverse suppliers. So if you're a woman in here, they want you. If you are ethnic minority or ethnic majority, they want you. If you're LGBTQ+, they want you. If you're disabled owned, they want you. Why? Because the government has given them a criteria that they need to be working with more diverse business owners. This is music to my ears because that means we stand a chance of being seen. All right, we stand a chance of being seen. So let's look at what the corporate priorities are. You may have heard this before. We need to make them money. We need to save them money. We need to save them time, or we need to push an initiative. Those are the four things. Those are the four things. Now, think about it. Now, I know Joanne Morehouse. Joanne, please drop your LinkedIn profile in the chat. She does photography. Well, I hope you still do photography. Now, even in photography, is that an urgent priority? It might be pushing an initiative where they want to get new corporate headshots done. So you have to look at it like that. How can your business fit into what their priorities are? So just put in the chat, which one could you do? Does your offer save them money? Does it push an initiative? Does it make them money or save them money? Just put one of those in the chat. You could do all of them. You could do all of them, which is lovely. But what would be your priority? What would be your priority?
So we've got save them time, save money, push a new initiative, save money, save money, save money, save money.
Oh, saving money is
save
good.
money seems to come up. Make the money, fantastic. Push a new initiative, push a new initiative, push a new initiative. Save money, a new initiative.
So the conversations, I'm going to share with you some questions, but the conversations would be around, this is how I can save you money. This is how I can make you money. This is how I can push an existing initiative. Well, you've got to know what the initiative is. And I'm going to show you different ways you can do that or save them time. All right. That's where your conversation needs to be headed. So do you want to see the 5 challenges? It's not going to freak you out. It's nothing new. But this is the latest research done. There's an American company that do this. This is the research they've shown. The first challenge is the companies are growing too fast. They are not, they can't keep up with the pace. So if you have an offer or a service or a product that's going to help them with big growth, they want you right now. If you can help them with focus and productivity, they have teams that are, it could be for a number of issues that are making them less productive. Can you help with them? Can you help with turnover and retention? Maybe your products can do that. Probably you are in HR. I know there's a couple of people in HR here. You can help with that. Can you help with preparing the future of work? Now with AI and chatbots and people feeling insecure about their jobs, how can you help increase their confidence? What can you do? And some of them, this was interesting, they can't even figure out what their biggest challenges are. So they need people like you to help them to figure out what the problem is. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Which one do you think you can help with? These are the 5 core challenges. It's not the only challenge, but these are the top 5 challenges that were identified in the report. Which one could you help with? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
So we've got 2, 3, 4, 3 and 5, 2, 3, 4, 3 and 5, 4 and 5, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So lots of 3s and 4s in this, and a few 5s, mainly 2, 3, and 4. Some people are going to do all 5.
Right. So I want you to make a note of this, right? Because when you're having those conversations, these are the key words you need to be saying. This is from the mouths of the corporates. So this is not from a consultant. This is not ChatGPT saying this. This is what they said. We're having issues with focus and productivity. We've got issues with retention. We're having issues actually finding out what is the problem. So let me introduce you to the RAP buying process. You need to do your research on the companies first. Understand this. I went to a conference. The man said, please do not approach me if you do not know what our company does. He was adamant about it. So you can get their information by looking on their website, their annual reports, go on to best places to work, investors in people, look at industry magazines. So for example, I work in HR, Emily works in HR, and I'm seeing Shireen on here. She works on Shireen works in HR. So our industry magazine is People magazine, and then there's HR magazine, and then there's HR Grapevine. When I go onto them, I know what's happening within the industry. If there is an industry you want to target, know who the industry magazines or the trade bodies. If you're an accountant, you know there's ACCA and there's ACA. Understand and know, do your research first. They will listen to you. They will open up their ears for you. All right. Then you want to assemble. Now, assemble means you need to meet them. You need to get a meeting in. Once you do the research and you're able to share what you know about them, their ears are pricked. They want to know, okay, talk to me. Tell me more what you know about us, how you can help us, because then that would lead to the next point, which is then you propose a solution. You can propose a recommendation, but you must first research. Then you need to assemble. So you need to either meet them online or meet them in person. Then you make your proposal. At the highest level, that is the buying process. There's more that goes into it. Of course, there's scripts and there's other little things. But at the highest level, the proposing, you can do lunch and learns. Many of you have heard me talk about, I've got a whole series on lunch and learns. You can do round tables. You can do think tanks. You can do power breakfasts where you organize it and you invite them in. Or you can go into their company, you can do it in person, or you can do it online, and you can talk about a topic that is key to them, or you can speak to their staff. But here are some other things that you can do. Take a picture of that, please. I'll leave it on there. Take a screen grab of that. You can share it on your social media. I'm not precious. I'm giving you IP rights here. You can do what you need to do. But these are some of the things that you can do with these corporates. Now, is there anything I'm missing? Put in the chat. There's definitely things I've missed. But let me know. Is there things that you've done or you know of that's not on this list? Let me know. Put in the chat. Let me know in the chat.
That's just one for you. Meet the buyer.
Meet the buyer. Mm-hmm. Meet the buyer. Yes, the only person that could have said that, I don't know, could be Martina. Was it Martina? Was it Martina that said that? Because it's people who are in the supplier diversity world, they understand that. There's meet the buyer. We'll talk about more of that. So these are some of the things that you can do. There's much more, but these are the main stuff that organizations want. And this is what they hire in from external people. It's not the only things, but it's the main things. Because the more people that know about you, the more opportunities and conversations you have. understand that when I did a piece of work for one company, they spoke to somebody else in another department. Now, if I didn't do a good job, I would have lost that. I'll give you an example. As of today, I had somebody contact me. They said, let's have a meeting. I want to know more about your coaching services. I missed the email. She said, let's try again today. Would you believe she sent me a Zoom link and I missed the meeting? So I've missed the meeting twice. This is not a good reputation for me. Good, not good. And I had to send her a message. And I said, I am so sorry. Today's been really busy. And I said, this is not like me at all. And I said, let's give this one more try. Let's try again tomorrow at 10:30. And thank goodness, she's agreed. So I actually had to go back to her and I said, why did you agree to do this? Because you have sent me 2 meeting invites and I've missed them both. You know what she said? I spoke to somebody else that knows you and they know this is not like you. Reputation matters. You may think that people are not watching you. They are watching you. I don't know who talked to her, but I'm so grateful for that person because I was dropping off, guys. I was dropping off. But because I don't have a reputation for dropping off, I've got another chance. So this is where we need to show up. We need to be visible and you have to have a good reputation in the market because people are talking about you. Good. So far, guys, is this good stuff? Let me know in the chat. If it's not, then I'll stop. Is it good? Is it good stuff? And get your questions ready. Let me know in the chat. Please tell me they're saying yes, Adrian.
They are indeed. They're saying amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay. Don't stop. Don't stop. I like one comment. You're moving mad. That was from Rode. Well done. Brilliant. Mad. Yes, lots of yeses. Excellent reminder and good clarity. Yeah. Fantastic. Keep this up.
Good. Yeah, some of these are going to be reminders to some people. They're going to be new to others. But if even I need reminding. I work with corporates all the time, and even I need reminding of the own work that I'm sharing with you guys. Right. So it's all good. So where can we find these decision makers? Industry-related events. Please, please, at least put one in your diary between now and the end of the year. Industry-related events. Now, you don't need to even go to your own industry-related. Like if you're an accountant, you don't even need to go to an accountant event. You can go to a marketing one. Why? Because you may be the only accountant at that marketing event and you will stand out. When you're having the conversations, you will stand out. So I try to go to events that are not just HR related. I'll go to marketing events, I go to accounting events, I go to property events, because usually I'm only the only HR person there or the only leadership coach or trainer there. All right. So think about that. They call it blue ocean marketing. Go where not a lot of you are. Industry related events, private members club. This is what you do. Here's a trick. You don't even need to sign up. Some of these are hugely expensive. This is what you do. You'll go to, there's a few in central London and all over the place. You go to the private members club and say you want to be a member, but you want to see what it's like. Could they give you a trial for a month? They might say, no, we can't do a month, but we can do 2 weeks. Then you go those 2 weeks. You sit there and you'll see the types and the quality of people who are there, and you start talking, start engaging. I did it and it worked. I was sitting down, I went to, I think was it Soho House? One of those ones. I went to Soho House. I was not paying the big money they wanted me to pay. And they gave me a trial. And I went there and I was sitting down, I was listening to 2 people talking. One was a boxer, and I don't know who he was talking to. And I overheard their conversation. And me being Michelle, I butted in. I said, oh, sorry, I overheard your conversation. You were talking about something. Can I just share a tip with you? I shared the tip with them. And since then, we have been good friends. And that person has been referring me work. Literally, because I overheard, I was nosy, and I followed through. Listen, guys, take the spirit of nosiness, because it will get you through. It will open up some doors for you, all right? So try that, private members club. Don't buy. If you've got the money to buy, that's good. If you don't, just register and try it out for a month. If they don't do a month, they usually do 2 weeks. Black tie galas. Now, I'm showing you places which are not typical because people think it's all on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has a place, but I'm telling you, when you meet them in person, the rapport builds instantly. Instantly. Buy your ticket and go to a black tie event. You will be surrounded by corporate buyers. Go to award ceremonies, fundraising galas. They are all in funding raising galas because they're always supporting large charities. And personal engagements. Now, when I wrote this, I didn't know what the correct word was. This is if you do personal stuff like golf or sports or tennis, they are there. And then we have thought leadership, and that's on LinkedIn. I just wanted to show you that everything is not on LinkedIn. Not everything is on Instagram. I have got most of my work through recommendations, referrals, and from meeting them in person. I got a piece of work. I was in a toilet at an event. I was wearing a blue dress. They were wearing a blue dress. We started talking about blue dresses. She asked me what I did. I told her what I did. She goes, "Oh my God, you're so good. I love this." And then I sent her a link to somewhere where I had spoken before. By the end of that day, as God is my witness, she said, "I would love for you," this was in Dubai, "I would love for you to come back over to Dubai and deliver a talk." I said, "If you pay my flight, I will come." She paid my flight. I paid my own accommodation, and I spoke at that event. All you need to do is build rapport, referrals, recommendations, and rapport. Then you don't need to tender. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense to you? Let me know.
That's brilliant.
Yeah?
Michelle, can I share something?
Go for it, please share.
Yeah, I just want to advise. I sit over 20, 30 buyers at the moment, and I can't tell you if any of them have ever bought anything off LinkedIn. I can tell you if they've been aware of people from LinkedIn, but they've never bought direct from LinkedIn. And I've been doing this for nearly 25 years, and we don't necessarily buy direct from LinkedIn. People do become more visible, more aware of what you do. They understand your credibility and what have you from LinkedIn, but we don't necessarily buy direct. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but we don't that's not the first port of call for a corporate. What Michelle is saying is more relational based. That's exactly what it's about. That's exactly what the end users, the buyers, the people like myself, corporate buyers, are looking for. We want to talk to you and understand you and understand whether you understand us as well.
I love that. And I'm glad that you added that because it's really good to have different perspectives. Yeah. It's really good to have different perspectives. So you know you don't always have to be posting on social media, and there's other ways that you can do this, right? So this is why I put here, don't always just depend on your fancy websites, your logos, your personal branding, social media posting, how many followers and likes you have, and winning lots of awards. Because these are all great. I've done it. I've built a fancy website. I have a personal brand. I post on social media all the time and I win awards. But nobody wants to be well known and broke. Nobody wants to be well known and broke. And there's too many of us who are doing this. Like we're just living from paycheck to paycheck, feast and famine, but yet we've got all the awards. We've got 5 books under our belt. Let us change that. Let us change that. We need to do more of this, speaking at awards. I want us to speak more at events. I want you to start participating with corporates. Connect with them at events before and after. You can optimize your LinkedIn because use that as your interactive business card and sell an MVP. Now, an MVP is a minimum viable product. So you can organize like a small lunch and learn and charge like a nominal amount for it so that you can get to know who you are. They can get to know, like, and trust you. So that's what you can start doing. All right. So that's what I want you to do more of. So let me share with you the corporate conversation. Let's now look at some of the things you can be saying. So I had a conversation with a prospect, and they said to me, Michelle, I only want to know what you can do for me. I'm less interested about your accolades and how many people you've worked for and worked with. What can you do for me? Now, luckily, I had done my research. Like I said, I checked their website. I also went on their media page. Then I went on the trade bodies, magazines online, which is all free, to see what their competitors are doing. I was able to feed that to them, which made their ears prick. And they said, okay. And I said, what we can do differently is this. And these are the results that I'm expecting if you follow my lead. I had to be in control, because when you're working with some corporates, they like to take over. But you are the expert. So you have to remind them of who you are. Really important. I'm doing this with a university, and she's saying to me, oh my God, Michelle, your price is a bit expensive. I said, I have 25 years in the game of this. I never just came up yesterday. If you want me to transform your team, you need to pay the price. You need me in, and I am also going to advise that some of your team need to be dismissed. So I know exactly, I've got 25 years of HR. I know exactly what they're looking for. And she was stunned, but she took action. And she goes, Michelle, I trust you. And I know exactly what I'm doing. You know exactly what you're an expert in. Don't let them railroad you into something, but understand what they care about. Understand what they care about. So that's what's really important. So this is how you get to understand. Understand what the setup, when you're having that conversation, set it up right. And talk about, I want to have this conversation with you because I know that there's areas that I can feel. You're setting up the conversation. Then you establish a gap, and then you can say, I know what the problems are, because based on what's going on in the industry, based on what you've spoken about, this is what the problems are. The credibility factor, this is how I can help. And give them a shopping list of solutions. Never give just one solution. If you give one solution and they don't like that, they can't buy. But when you give them a shopping list, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and I can do this. Which one sounds good? They can pick. So last week or 3 weeks ago, I had a conversation with an insurance company. I was up against some of the biggest companies, and I just thought, oh my God, I wish I didn't know. But I thought, okay, Michelle, just do your thing. Do your thing. I went into that meeting and I went through a presentation with them. And I said, I know that you might be speaking to a number of companies, but what I have that they don't have is this. And I talked about, I have that niche expertise. I'm agile. I can respond quickly to you. You don't need to go through hierarchy. I was able to do that. And I'm still, and they listen to me and they listen to the other people who are more backed by data science. So we're still waiting to hear what the outcome is. But I left that meeting leaving all my cards on the table. I left no stone unturned, because I know what I can do, just like you know what you can do. And you could be up against some big brands. That's fine. Let them do their thing and you do you. All right. The credibility factor. And the next step is, where do we go from here? This is what I suggest that we can do. And you put the suggestion. You are got to control the conversation. Don't be this deer in headlights and thinking, oh my God, I'm speaking to this corporate that has thousands and millions of pounds. You are the expert. That's why they're having the conversation with you. So let me show you 10 empowering questions. They're easy questions, and I want you to take a picture of them. These are the questions that I use all the time. Take a picture. These are the questions that you can be asking. Take a picture and let me know. You know, what do you think the main challenge is? And when you're asking these questions, do it in a conversation style. Don't make you sound like they're under interrogation. Do it in a conversation. So like number 7, but why is that important to you, Laura? Why is this important to you now? What else is going on within the company, the department? And one tip, let me give all of you. Don't try and change a whole company. We cannot change a whole company. Try and change a department. Influence and impact at a department, and then the department will tell another department. They will tell another department. By the time you finish, you've done the whole company. But if you go in trying to do the whole company, it's too big. It's too big. And remember, we're trying to get in without having to tender, all right? So this is the way you do it. You do department by department, person by person. So do you get what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Can you see that this is possible, guys? Let me know in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Can you see how this is more possible? And let me know. Put a 1 in the chat.
Yeah, we're getting lots of 1s in the chat. Brilliant.
It's so possible. And I'm so excited for you. It's so possible. It's so possible. If I can do it, and there's loads of people here in the room I know who have done it, we can do it. And if you've done it once, let's do it again. Replicate, see what went right, replicate, see what went wrong. I've got a video, and those people are coming to the event. They're going to get access to it, where I was able to video a conversation with a prospect. And I can tell you where I talked too much, where I was just going on, and I didn't give them enough space. But I've recorded that, and then I've done an analysis of it, so you can see where I was going right and where I was going wrong. I want to give that to everybody so you can see a real life prospect conversation for yourself. Who would like to see that? Put a number 2 in the chat if you would like to get access to.
There's quite a few 2s. 2s are going up. Very good.
When you see it, even I played it back and I was thinking, oh, Michelle, you know, no one's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. But I was able to identify my flaws, my issues, my challenges, and I made it right. So it's a really good video. And I'm really honored that she allowed me to use it. And now I can use it as a case study. So corporate conversations lead to this. This is one. Hi, Michelle. Hope you're doing well. I'm reaching out because we're exploring training options for a company-wide half-day strategy. So this was a company-wide. It wasn't a massive company. I think there was only about 100 people, right? We envisage covering microaggression, unconscious bias, white privilege, stereotypes. Please, can we have a call to discuss options, and so we can find out how much it will cost. This is a real-life email that I got. This is another real-life email that somebody else got within our membership. This is what she said. We would like to go with option 1. We are looking forward to working with you. This is the first line of the email that I just read. It is in response to a proposal I was talking to Michelle and Adrian about on our last call. They agreed to the 7.5K that I proposed. This is real life. She got that, and after that, she got another 2 other gigs as well. 5 figures all the time. And she's flying now. So this is real. I don't want to just show you what I'm getting. I want to show you what other people get as well. All right. And then we had somebody else, and this is what she had. They said, Michelle, sorry I got tied up today, which is annoying because I wanted to share that I've secured a contract from a proposal I completed. We are finalizing the contract. She got this contract with Adidas. And I was so elated. I was so happy. I said, listen, I don't care if you miss our sessions. You got something. That is what she got. So I was really, really happy about. And then this is me again. I wanted to get in touch to see if you can support Amazon in speaking to a group of financial professionals. What I did 1 department first, got the feedback, iterated my work, and then they passed me on to someone else. It is possible, guys. It's possible. And I just wanted to share that with you because I want to put you in a room of corporates. Who wants to have these conversations and who wants to be in the room of corporates so you can have these conversations? Let me know in the chat.
Right, lots of yeses. I'm ready. I like that one. Yes.
Are you ready? Let's go ready.
Guys, I like that one.
I'm going to set you all up to win.
Yes. Some strong arms as well. People are ready for this. Absolutely.
So guys, let me tell you something. How many of you know that I'm putting on, this is my first event, guys, my first event. I've done small events. I'm talking a proper event. And I've put this on specifically for you, micro diverse business owners, not people who got 500k turnover, not people who got £1 million turnover, because there are businesses, small businesses who are doing that easy. I know this because I sit on a board, that's what I see. But I thought there's micro business owners, there's solopreneurs, there's freelancers. We don't get a look in. We don't get a look in. I sit on a board, and when I mention people like you in the meetings, it gets slapped off like this. So I'm like, but how do we raise the visibility and market readiness of micro diverse businesses if you don't even want to have a conversation about it? I spoke to my mum about this, and I prayed about this. And it was dropped in my spirit that I need to organize this event myself and bring corporates who are interested and bring together diverse business owners, small, micro, grassroots companies who are interested. And so was birthed the Diverse Business Summit, London 2023. I put London 2023 because we have plans to go global. The whole point of this event is to raise your visibility and your market readiness. So everything that I've shared with you today, if you've been on other masterclasses, everything that was shown, I want you to put into practice with real people. So you don't need to do mock interviews. I want you to put in real people. So far we've secured these companies: JCDecor, Lloyds, Sky, Diageo, Moody's. There's another big brand that we have secured. I don't know if anyone knows. If you've been on my website, you've seen who they are. Anyone know who that missing brand is? Let me know in the chat if you know. You may not know, but we've got one big brand called Meta. Now, let me tell you, to get Meta in a room is the hardest. I had conversations and conversations and conversations, but I was determined because I believe this is a God-given event, and this is I'm putting it out there. You don't have to believe in God. You don't need to have to believe in anything. I know where I'm coming from, and I know that this is a God-given event. For me to be able to get Meta in the room, JCDecor, who are the biggest outside advertising company in the world, not in the UK, in the world. Lloyd's, the biggest bank in the UK. If I can get them in the room, you guys need to show up and meet them. You've got to meet them and talk with them and hear from them. So this is what's going to be happening at the event. The event is going to have, we have keynote speakers, we have top suppliers, people who want to exhibit, people who want to sponsor. I'm going to give you an opportunity to network with professionals. So you can network with people like yourselves, and you can network with corporates. You can network, and there's going to be other corporates. We've got Hello Fresh, are they called Hello Fresh? They're coming. They're not corporate partners, but I've already reached out to them. They've secured people to come. We've got Ernst & Young, we've got CBRE. They're all coming. And I've already asked them, what are they looking for? And I'm asking everybody who is coming, what do you want? So that I can marry up what you want and what they're looking for. Do you understand what I mean? All right. So there's a comprehensive program of sessions. There's going to be breakout rooms and breakout sessions. I have hired the best venue, and I only got Hanan to thank for that. Hanan found this for me. It's cost me an arm and a leg. That's fine. That's fine. It's cost me an arm and a leg, but I want you guys to be in quality. I was not hiring no community center, no hall, and nothing against anybody who does, but I wasn't about to do it. I was not set up like that. My mother is on this call. She never brought me up like that. So I've hired the best venue for you. There's going to be B2B lounge, so you can sit and relax. There's going to be continuous food all the time. You've got a 3-course meal. Breakfast will be provided for you. We have Energizer afternoon snacks for you as well. Corporate roundtables, panel discussions. You'll also get, guys, a clear blueprint of what to prioritize. Many of you said you want the process. You're going to get the process. I will create the process for you. You're also going to get the Visibility Accelerator formula. We will do that for you. You'll get access to 7 to 8 figure entrepreneurs. Why? Because yesterday, a multi-millionaire confirmed that they will be there and they want to share their expertise with you guys. I was so honored. I'm not gonna lie. I did cry a little bit on the Zoom call yesterday because I was so overwhelmed. I feel so overwhelmed that people will want to do this for me without me spending a penny. So this is how real this is. Look, I'm getting emotional now. Guys, it's real. Adrian, say something.
Well, you won't get an opportunity like this. This is brilliant. The amount of work that Michelle has put in the background and the team that has put in the background to do this. And this is what is different about this is this is exactly tailored towards you, not just to get you to attend, but this is to get you an outcome, to get you something that is real, something different to what is out there. And the fact that these people are in the room and the fact that the expertise that you're going to get on this day is there in the room. You've been asking for it. It's here now for you. We're providing for it. As Michelle said, there are some brilliant corporate people that are going to be sitting around the table. And when we sit around the table, we want to talk to you and we want to make sure that you are ready. We want to make sure that you understand what we're looking for and understand what you understand what you need to do. It's clear, it's clarity, there's everything that you require. That's there. I'm not in these, what's these words? We're not here to just try and sell a program or try and sell you a course or all of these different things. That's not what it's about. This is specifically around getting you the outcomes that you require, collaborating you, and getting you to meet face to face with the people that are in the room. It's a great opportunity. I've seen many, many events. This is something that is different.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that, Adrian. I was getting a bit hot.
We're here for you.
I don't take it lightly, you know, when people trust me. I don't take it lightly. So thank you so much, even for coming on today's call. So all of this, how much do you think that day is, guys? Put in the chat, how much do you think that day is? The whole day. Plus you get entertainment. I've got something very special for you all. How much do you think it is? Let me hear. What comments? How much?
Priceless is the right answer, correct?
Yeah, I get it correct. That means you've been on the website already, right? You've seen it.
We've got 400, absolutely amazing.
Well, put it this way, I organize events all the time, and this type of event and the setup, the quality of the speakers, what you're getting, catering, unlimited tea and coffee. I normally would see anything from between 500 and 1,200.
Wow.
And I've done international, so events like in Barcelona would be around, and Europe around that price.
Love that. It's £249, guys. £249 for the day. And you get all of those bonuses. You also get, and I'm going to do this out of my own pocket again, I want to do a pre-event like training. So everybody that books a ticket, I am going to tell you how to make the best of the day. I'm going to do a post one as well, but I'm going to do this complimentary. Because I don't want you to come and it to be another event. I need you to get what you need from it. What you won't get from this, and I'm not promising this, neither is Adrian or Hanan, we're not promising that you're going to leave with a contract, because I am not Deloitte, I'm not CBRE, I'm not Ernst & Young. But what I am going to do and what we can guarantee is that you are going to form partnerships, collaborations, network with the people that can access this. Now, the fact that I am talking to these people, I will get to hear from them and I can say, well, you know, this person's come in. And that's why when everyone signs up, I want to know what business you do. So I can say to Meta, oh, well, actually, we have somebody that does corporate photography. She's here. Oh, we've got somebody who does facilities management. They've already dictated and they've said, do you have these types of people there? So I need to get them in the room so that you can see them. You have access to the speed collaboration. You have access to the corporate conversation toolkit. That's with the video as well that I did with this prospect. You get access to this. And also, does anyone want to do any work in the UAE? Let me know. If you want to do some work in the UAE, just put yes.
Yeah,
So
we've got lots of yeses, yes.
okay, so guys, I have a lady coming over from Dubai. She's my corporate Dubai business advisor. She is absolutely brilliant and she knows all the best places. She does predominantly Dubai, but she can do the UAE. But she knows all the best places if you want to either set up business or if you want to get corporate engagements in Dubai. As I sit here, she's just sent me a text saying that I've just started with the visa process. And can I help her with the invite? So she's coming. She's literally just sent me that message right now. And you get access to her. Now, you'll get access for 249. She charges much more than this. She charges much more than this. So once again, you get access to these corporates. They'll be in the room. I'm talking to Sainsbury's, Tesco, BP, Just Eat, the financial ombudsman. They've just confirmed that they'll be there. Wedlake Bell and UCL will be there. I'm going to make sure UCL are there because I do work with them. So guys, can you see how you can make this work, right? Can you see how you can make this work? I want to open for questions. We've got the next half an hour. So I just want to know, can you see how this works? Let me know, please.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got lots of people saying yes, definitely. You know, there's something I was going to put into people's minds as well. What would it cost you not to be at this event?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you be missing out with? Who would you not meet if you was not at this event? Think about that, and what would that cost you? And then think about what would be the benefit of meeting these people. So we've got a few people that are going to raise some questions, and I'll come to your hands as well.
In the questions, so and also put your questions in the chat.
In the chat, and we'll put that up.
Put your questions in the chat. So is 249 an okay price, guys? Let me know that. I had a conversation with a corporate, and you know what they said? Oh, small businesses, they won't pay 249. And I just said, you know what? You don't know. You don't know. They will pay it.
Absolutely.
But guys, I want to do this for you. And I know my mum's going to be saying, Michelle, you should have just sold it for 249. I know. And I think my mentor's on here as well. If you book within 48 hours, I will give it to you for 199. I can only do it for 10 people. Only for 10 people. Or it's 249. You said that 249 was okay. So you can still come for 249. This is what I need you to do. If you book it within 48 hours, so by what were you, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, by Thursday, but it's the first 10 people. I'll also give you the names of 10 magazines that will pay you for your article. Hot off the press. Hot off the press. I know the names of the magazines. I know exactly how much they will pay. And I've also put together the template, so you don't even need to worry about, oh, what should I put? I'll also, because I'm just a giver, amen, I'll also give you this game-changing script that a client in the US used. It's the most simplest script ever. When I saw it, I was like, what? They got £125,000 contract with this simple script. And I asked, can I take the script, please? They said, yes, and I can give it to you. But you've got to book. Who wants to book?
Yep, we've got a lot of people in there.
Can you put the link in the chat, please? And the discount code.
Absolutely.
Let's put that in the chat for them.
Yep, I've added it in the chat.
We've got a couple of questions in the chat as well, which I'll come to. You come when you're ready, Michelle, and we'll do that.
Okay, so location is in St. Paul's.
Or more like Liverpool Street.
Liverpool Street, sorry,
Liverpool
Street. Yep.
Yeah, it's in Liverpool Street. It's literally
right near the station.
3 minutes walk from the station. It's 155 Bishopsgate. If anyone knows Bishopsgate, is the big outside is a big black and gold building.
It's there last week.
Any other questions? Put in the chat. And as we just come to the end, then I'm going to open up for questions. This is what you get: 10 magazines that will pay in 2023. I've given you the details. I will give you the details. I will also give you my templated email so you can get started with that. But yeah, and you can buy your tickets for $199 instead of $249 for the first 10 people. For the first 10 people only, right?
That's correct. Someone's asked, is it wheelchair accessible? I believe it is. I was there this week.
Is.
Yeah.
So what the is it Hanan? Hanan's the event organizer.
Yeah, it will be, because there's no way that a venue would not have access. So there'll be access to the back. Best thing to do is just email us, let us know, just so then that way we've got that on the list, so we can expect, we can then give you the direction of which door to take.
Yeah,
but we can only do that
definitely.
once you send us an email. We can then give you the instructions.
Awesome. Any other questions around the event or?
Right, so there was a hand. Nicole, we've got your hand up. Would you like to answer a question?
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll finish now, basically. So before we open up, because I want to come on the screen and see everybody.
Yeah.
So that's the QR code, guys. That is the QR code. Use discount 101, please. No space. My tech guy said no spaces so that we can get you. And it's the first 10 people. So I've got Ade here who's going to let me know how many people are booking. And if you miss the 10 slots, because it will stop, the code won't work after 10. So you can still buy it for $249, and we have a payment plan on there as well of 2 payments. So is this helpful? Let me know. Please put a yes in the chat. Who's going to buy their ticket? Let me know. Put a yes in the chat.
A few that have already said that they have.
Can I just ask? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just about to answer that, because I think you might have missed. I did reply back, but you probably didn't see that, Caroline. Hi. So the event will be 9 a.m. And finishes at 5 p.m.
Sorry, can I just ask a question? I want to be able to book, but I just need to clarify. I'm based in Jamaica. Am I able to attend? Is it in person? Is it better to be in person only?
Do you want to fly over from Jamaica, Nicole?
I've thought about that, but I don't know what the cost of tickets are right now. So, and I've just literally moved house. So, would you recommend it being in person, or is there a virtual element where it could
definitely in person? I need to speak to the AV and tech team about a virtual streaming, because we're not doing the Zoom. We're going to do this properly. So I just need to see how they're going to do that. I need to find out what the costing, because there's a cost for me and there's a cost for the venue to get it streamed really well. So leave that with me and I'll find out. I will find out for you. So I can't guarantee at this stage that it's going to be live streamed. But so hold on, Nicole. All right. Good. Any other questions?
I had a question in the chat about is there availability to exhibit at the...
That's my question. All right. Okay.
Yeah, there's availability to exhibit. That's on the website. If not, who asks that, and I can make sure I send you some information.
We've only got
It's Lorraine Gabriel, Michelle.
Lorraine. Oh, Lorraine. Wave. Let me see.
Hi.
Oh, there you are. That's there.
I've got a bit. My screen's got a bit dark. So.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So I need to check, because some people have been buying exhibition stands already. I'll make a note of that so I can tell you how many's left. But yeah, there are spaces to exhibit.
Excellent. Thank you. And thanks for today. It's phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. Any other questions? Ask me anything about getting into corporate in general. Ask me anything about the event. Someone's in Nigeria. You can come over from Nigeria. I've got people coming from Doha. I've got people coming from Dubai. You can come over from Nigeria too. Any other questions? Or just let me know, how do you think what you learned today? Talk to me, let me know.
Fine.
Did you learn something? Did it awaken anything for you? Flights are £600 from JA. Bold, talk the talk. So Bode said, let me share this. Bode said that flights from Jamaica are £600 return. You get one contract that will pay for that double. To be fair, you can't do a work for contract for a corporate and get £600. They would not pay it because it's too low. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make commercial sense.
Absolutely.
So whatever fee, Adrian, speak to that, because whatever fee you would charge them, it's got to be a good
Absolutely.
amount.
So definitely, this is something that we look at. I mean, very regularly, the majority of our contracts are not tendered, and they could be anything from 10,000, 5,000. We've had 15,000, 20,000. Many of these things that can be done on a regular basis. Absolutely. When you say something like 600 or 700, that could be half of somebody's day rates that is out there for some of the consultancy that they book. Regularly, we pay for consultancy, especially expert consultancy, which is far in excess of that per day, quite regularly. And so I award contracts for those areas as well. So definitely it is worth the investment to put in. Invest, sow the seed, and see what happens, see what grows off that. It's really time to do so. Invest in your gifting.
Awesome. I think there's a question here from Caroline. Is it the right type of it's gone. Is it the right type of event for stress management? Yeah. So remember, the question, I don't think you've asked the right question. The question I think you mean is it the right type of event to meet corporates that will need stress management? Am I right? Okay, good. Okay, yes, they're companies, they have people, they have staff. You know, as a stress management expert, that what the statistics already show what employees are going through. You just have to have a conversation with somebody. I had a conversation over over coffee at the last event I went to, which was similar to this event actually. And I just told her what I did. And I just said, gosh, how many of your leaders are next in line? Is there a succession plan? Are they all diverse? Are they inclusive? And she goes, oh my gosh, please don't ask me. Let me put you in contact with my HR person. And that's what she did. So I didn't even make that contact in the room. I made that contact networking over drinks. You have to have these conversations, and don't feel that you just have to have the conversations with the corporate buyers. You may have a conversation with me or somebody else, and I know what's going on in different organizations. So definitely.
Also as well, please remember that the decision maker and sometimes the stakeholders are the people that need to be who you're having the conversation with. And then there'll be somebody, they'll be able to point you in the direction of how they then award that or buy that, which might be somebody different. But talking to the decision makers, the people that actually need the services that you require, or the people that pay for the services that you require, that's the benefit of being in the room.
Yeah. And somebody put in the post, if I've already paid a ticket, bought, do I get the bonuses? Yes, you do. I will give you all the bonuses. And somebody's also asked, if I'm a member and I've already paid, members, I'll give you even more. Obviously, I'm going to actually give you email addresses of the editors. All right, so leave that with me. I'll get you the email address. All right, cool. Any other? Oh, we've got hands up. Let's go through in order of hands up. Nicole, I think we answered your question. Zena, over to you. Off mute.
Sorry, Helen, can you post the link in again, please, into the chat? Thank you.
Hi everyone. Hey. Hi Michelle. Hi Adrian. Thank you so much. Breath of fresh air for me particularly. I'm sure most people agree. I think for me, and I think this might be for some other people as well, is for us to be able to pivot from, you know, the things that we're doing to make sure that it's actually probably like what Caroline was asking, you know, to make sure that what we offer individuals or groups can, you know, be attractive to corporates. I'm definitely going to be on that at that event because it's something I've been wanting to access for a while, but not knowing how to do it. So I guess maybe, and I don't know if you're thinking about this, maybe having conversations with those who are going to come or whatever to kind of help us to try and reframe what we're offering.
I think that's a good, Zena, that's a good point. And the pre-training that I'm going to do with whoever can come, I might cover that. So I'll add that to it because what it is the type of conversation changes. You offer and what you do is the same because it's from people to people, but it's how you package that so it makes sense to that buyer. That's what it's about. So they have teams. I work in HR, so I see there's loads of people going off sick or stress or other types of well-being. But the conversation you need to be having is, I understand that well-being is probably one of your top priorities because focus on productivity is. So what are you guys doing in terms of ensuring that you have a good, healthy team? What is your sales team doing? Talk about different departments. So don't talk about the whole company. Just talk about different departments. And have you noticed that some of the sales team, they're not coming in all the time, or it's not always focused. So just identify things that could be relevant to them, because what happens? It's like when you mention it, then they think, oh yes, of course. It's just like if I say, don't think of purple elephant, you think of purple elephant. It's the same situation. You have to mention what the problem is, because when you first speak to them, they won't know what the problem. They can't think on the top of their heads. But you can start putting together, this could definitely be a situation. The stress. How are you dealing with that high rate of stress? Drop a little stat in your conversation. Let them think about it. Look at what their competitors are doing around stress. If you're in diversity and inclusion, everybody has a race action plan now. They have a Black action plan, Asian action plan. Have a read of that before you have those conversations. So, but because I'm going to tell you who are coming, I can tell you where to find this information. And that's what we're doing in the pre-training class.
And I also just want to add as well, what you want to consider when you are, and we do this in the training as well, when you are considering approaching a corporate, always think about as well the scale. Let's use that word, the scale that you're approaching somebody. Sometimes when you're offering a product one-on-one to somebody, that is one thing. But can you ramp up, or what would you need to do to ramp up if it was 10 people, 20 people, 30 people? Because a lot of times corporates are looking at just a bigger scale. You can definitely deliver your excellence, but they might want it in more than one location. They might want it in a bigger group. Just being prepared so that you can deliver in those environments. But those are some of the things that we talk about as well.
Thank you very much.
Michelle, there's a couple of questions that people was asking about membership. I think the best thing to do, as it's not for this call, the best thing for you to do is to book either like a 10-minute or 15-minute call with us, and we can explain to you how membership works. Membership involves, us hand-holding and showing you quite extensive ways as into how you can locate and secure corporate. We have a number of members on here that can attest to what that is like on a monthly basis. But we can put that in. Just book a 15-minute call with us and we can help explain how that works.
Yeah, that's helpful, because I actually don't have access to the information to drop the link. I do have a link which explains it, but I don't have access to it right now. So just drop me an email and I can do that. Somebody, Jamila, we're going to come to you next, my darling. Somebody asked about speaking. Speaking. Yeah, if you want to be a speaker, definitely. To be fair, most of the stuff that I did was around, I got in either through speaking, or I did a lunch and learn, I did a round table. So I don't usually charge for my lunch and learns. If it's a new company, I want to go in and I want them to hear what I've got to say and experience me free of charge, complimentary. So I'll say, this is complimentary. It's usually a chargeable fee, but I want to do it complimentary for you so you can see what I'm like and hear. And then what I do is use the feedback of that lunch and learn. So I might do a talk around microaggression or white fragility or something for the leaders. Then I get their feedback. So I always do a survey. So this is a reminder to everybody. Always do a survey. It could be on Google Forms, type form, doesn't matter. Get them to fill it out while you're still in the session with them. And the feedback from that will dictate what the next steps are. You can use my my form if you don't know what to put on your forms, no problem. So yeah, that's what we do. So all the members, you have access to this, and if you're not using it, then naughty. But yeah, that's what you can do. Exhibition. So on the website, are we going to the Diverse Business Summit website? It's on there. There's stuff around exhibiting there. Yeah, if not, then I'll double check. But yeah, I think there's something up there. Jamila, over to you, my dear.
Hello, I hope I sound all right. I'm getting over a cold, which is why I've kept the camera off, just in case, you know, I was coughing or spluttering or something. Nobody wants to see that. So my question was around, like, you mentioned a nominal amount, and I didn't put in save for a lunch and learn, but you already said that typically you'd make that complimentary. But my question would be, even if you are making it complimentary, what would that nominal amount look like that you still, I guess, are discounting? Is that I undercharge?
So how much do you want to share? How much you charge for a lunch and learn now?
So I haven't done a lunch and learn since before the pandemic, but I recently did. So it's a series of 2-3 hour trainings. It was meant to initially be for 2 people, and I was charging 500. I didn't actually include in the proposal, if they added any other people, that there'd be an extra cost to add those extra people, and 2 other departments jumped in. So I'm now doing it for £500, but for 5 people, which makes me now think that I'm undercharged, but I didn't think about it. So I want to
say you can charge 1,500 as a minimum, and then you can say to them, well, remember, you don't just give the number, you say 1,500 as a minimum. And with that, I'm expecting a certain amount of people. If you want to share it and whatever, we can talk about how we can go ahead and do that. So some people, I'm being honest, I've just let them share it. But as time goes on, I'm not letting them do that because, yeah, they've got global offices all over the world. And, you know, you've done it once for 1,500, but I don't charge that now. But minimum 1,500.
Okay, no, it's fine. This was a small organization, yeah. Like, gave me an idea of what their budget was, and I stuck to it. But it was just because I just really wanted to get, so 1, imposter syndrome, undercharging, but then, like, I still don't feel like what they're getting is definitely worth the money. I definitely could have charged more, but again, it's my first one, so I also want to get those testimonials and things like that.
And remember, this is for everybody, guys. Convey the value. The value. It's so important, because you said something there, Jamila. The value to you is not the value to them. So talk about, you know, we all, you know, in the coaching world, talk about the pain points. Yeah, it's more than that. What you want to say is what's going on in your department now that if you were to sort it out, you would look good.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're individuals you're talking to. So talk to them like individuals to say, what can I do? I had this woman and I said to her, tell me what I can do to make you look good. She was on the verge of being sacked. Because her team had fallen apart. And I said, listen, you pay me and I will go over and beyond. You won't get sacked, because we're going to turn your team around. And don't expect the team to turn around in 2 months and 3 months. So you be very realistic with them. It could take up to a year for real change to occur. Remember, you're the expert. Yeah. They don't know that you're suffering from imposter syndrome. All the time I'm talking to them, I'm like inside and going, oh my God. But I don't show it on my face. So you can feel how you need to feel inside. But when you're talking to them, talk like you are the expert that you are. All right?
Thank you.
Brilliant. Okay, and Nicole asked a question: is 1,500 for lunch and learn, or is it per person? So how I do my lunch and learns is a group of employees coming together, but I will tell them no more than 15 or no more than 20. So it'd be a minimum of 1,500 tapped at 20 people. So I don't expect them to pay per head. If they need more than that, then we can talk about pricing, but I cap it because I want to make it as engaging to answer all their questions. The more I get them to talk, they are providing feedback for me to go back into the company. All right, so you can do it that way. Any other questions, guys? Anything else you need from me? What else do you need from me? Let me know.
Yes, I have a question. I've just booked, but I don't know what I've booked. It sort of looks like it's I've booked a bigger package. I'm not sure.
Did you put the discount code? Then it goes down to 199.
Yes, I did, but I can't quite. It looked like I'd booked the whole day. Sorry, something else. I just need you to check it. But I've approved the cost in my app, and so I'm just going through some questions. So I'm really interested in this. Oh, my question apart from that is I've booked and I've paid, so hopefully it's just doing the sort of the 199, hopefully. But I have approved it in my app, so I don't know what will come through your end. But my question is, I've had an inquiry through from the NHS. I've actually been doing a suicide and self-harm training, and I've been working, my assessments and my submissions have been marked by a mental health nurse. So I've actually passed that suicide and self-harm training, and I've now got a certificate, and I've passed with flying colours. And I've also been asked from somebody from the NHS, from LinkedIn, do I do groups and how much do I charge? And I have to admit, I've not gone back, and I forgot because there's been so much stuff that I've had to deal with because I've moved house and I've bought a new property, and I've just been caught up with that. What should I charge for a group talk within the NHS?
How long? I'm going to need more details on that. How long is your talk?
Well, that's just it. I don't know, and that was why I didn't kind of go back. I was going to say it would be great to have a conversation, because there are things that I don't know. Is it online? Is it face to face? What's the location? How long? I don't know any of those things. Just do I talk to groups? And
so I can tell you from now, I can't answer that until you tell me those things. So what you need to do is go back to them, ask them all those questions you've just said. You need to know, is it online? Is it in person? How many people's got to be there, and how long is the talk? Now you can, if they're unsure, you dictate to them. You can say, well, actually, and I think you can do this, Caroline. You go back to them and say, I'm happy to do a talk. This is what I would usually do. I would usually do 1 hour. The 1 hour will include any prep work I'm doing. The 1 hour will include the delivery and I always do a follow-up. I always like to do a follow-up. So you can add that as a bonus to them. I can do that, and it will be £2,500, but it includes all of that which you mentioned. And I can do that in person. If they want to do it online, you might come down. I charge the same online or in person, to be fair. But you can come down or you can go up, but you can do whatever you like. But effectively, you need to know who it's for, and what's going to dictate your price is the people in the room. If it's low-level subordinates, as in admin staff, domestic staff, is a different price than if you're doing senior managers. So you have to get the price point right. You need to ask them, do you have a list of questions that you need to ask them?
Well, I've been going around in my head saying, well, I need to know timing, I need to know how many, I need to know online or in person, and I also need to understand, they just said a general talk on stress. but you know, there's tons of stuff that I've now done that is on YouTube, which they can look at. You know, there's just tons of stuff that they can find on me. So there's lots of material for them to feel, yes, I'm comfortable in getting this person on board. It's just, you know, I didn't quite know how to go around asking, you know, going back to them, because I had more questions than just to be able to say, well, it's this much. And so I haven't gone back to them, and then I forgot, which is not helpful.
We've all been there. So you've got two options. You can either go back to them one last time and get those, you need those questions answered, or you dictate and you say, well, I'm happy to do a 2-hour call or 2-hour meeting or 2-hour talk, 90 minutes, keynote, whatever you know, they called it in different countries. And you say to them, now my question to you is, I don't know how much work you put in, but if you, and I can imagine. So you have to reward your time and give them the value. So I would say, don't go in less than £2,000.
Really? Gosh.
£2,000, because they're going to try and haggle you down, because that's what people do. So go in at 2,000. Go in with a number that feels comfortable to you. I had BMG and I went in at £5,000. I went in at £5,000, and they just went, who are you? Who do you think you are? Yeah. But you know what? I said it with my whole chest. And there was no imposter syndrome. I said it. Did I get it? I did not get it. We settled on 3,000. I was happy to speak for 1 hour for £3,000.
Right. Okay. Well, that's really helpful.
I will show them the value. I said, listen, I'm going because I said, and this is the question for everybody. Why do you want me to speak at your event? Why me? They'll tell you why, and you give them that reason back. So I said to her, why did you want me to speak? And she goes, oh, well, you've been following on LinkedIn. You got recommended, you got this, you got that. I said, okay, that's fine. So this is my price because I'm this, I'm this, I'm that.
Right. Okay. Well, I've got evidence of what I've been doing, because while it's been like it's been, I've been doing lots of online stuff with USA Global TV and radio. So there's just absolutely tons of YouTube stuff that they can see, you know, the credibility of my work. And I'm being highlighted as their resident therapist, which is it's all kind of, you know, it's given me positioning now. So I do feel that it's time for me to, you know, come out and do that. So I have booked. I just want to make sure that it has taken 199 and not anymore.
We'll double check afterwards. But this is for everybody. Just you can get all the positioning in the world, but if your pay packet doesn't reflect it, you'll never be happy. All right. So any further questions? And that's the lesson for me as well. It's for all of us. We can have all the accolades, all the awards, all the books, all the lights, but if your pay packet is still weak at the end of the month, you're not going to be happy. None of us will be. So there has to come a time, and be willing to walk away sometimes as well. That's another thing.
Michelle, anyway, can I add something as well?
Yeah.
Just so I work in the NHS. I actually head procurement for 2 NHS trusts at the moment. And exactly as Michelle said is correct. And sometimes what you can be putting in is too low. We might look at the figure that you're putting and thinking, why is this so low? Is there something missing? So do listen to what Michelle is saying. We want to go in with something that is credible, that reflects the time, reflects the value, the effort that's going in, but also the institution that you're going into. So as well. So don't be afraid of some of those big numbers, which might seem big to you. They're not as big. Using words like 3,000, 5,000, 7,000 is actually quite familiar in some of the large organizations that are out there. So, and without a doubt, I'm sure that you're worth that, and worth that on a repeated basis.
Bless you. Thank you.
You are. We all are. So guys, listen, I don't want to keep you. I did say you're going to finish at 8:30. You're 6 minutes over. 6 minutes over. And my oxtail is now ready. So I'm just going to put it out there. It's ready, guys. 2 hours, it's come to an end. But guys, thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure as always having these sessions. I'm going to be running a couple more before the event, but I'm definitely going to do the pre-training, whatever I'm going to call it, and that's for everybody who can come, so that we all understand where we are. We're going to just be raw, unadulterated, so that there'd be no slides. We just need to talk about how can we get the best. Call it like a group huddle. All right. And
Will that be online?
It'll be online,
Michelle?
yeah.
Great.
I've got a couple of people from
Yeah.
other countries, so we'll do that online, so we can just, any fears that you're worried about, just let's lay it on the line so we can get this
Absolutely.
for you. But I think that's it. Thank
So
you.
all I was going to say, we've probably got about 30 seconds. While you're in the room, save the links that you need before we close down the room. Save the links in the chat.
So let's repost them for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think Hanan kindly put
Put the
our
links in. Yeah.
details as well, which is good. And there's people in the room that you want to connect with. There's other people here, Caroline, who've done some work with NHS. I saw it in the chat. I don't know where it is, but you can reach out to them as well.
Okay, thank you.
And I know Janet McNeish, who she does a lot of work within corporate space. Please reach out to her as well.
Right.
Who else do I know who could help? Because it's not just me, I don't know everything, but there's other people who have skills and expertise. So please, let's use each other. I'll tell you this before you all go. Every time I pitch for work, I always say yes to everything, even things that I don't do, because I know I have access to HR in the room. We've got Shireen, I've got Emily, I've got access to events managers and digital marketers, so I can bring other people's name in the room. It doesn't always have to be my name, and it's just so rewarding. So that's why I want other you guys to at the event to meet and connect as well. All right, so that you can help each other get work as well. Awesome. And Marisha, Marisha has done work as well. So please connect with, Caroline, connect with Marisha and connect with Janet McNeish and with Adrian. You'll get all the help you need.
Wonderful, thank you. You're
We're
such a
done.
blessing. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Love to you all. See you soon. Hopefully I see some of you at the event. Sue, I'll see you at the event. I'm going to find somebody who needs you. I'm going to look after you, girl. I'm going to look after you. You've been on my mailing list too long. I'm going to find someone specifically for you. Trust me.
Yeah, I've just joined your membership too.
Oh my God. Oh, thank you. I was trying not to get anyone to join, but don't worry. You're
I've been meaning to do it for ages.
Bless you, Sue. Bless you. We'll do something. We'll do something. I've got contacts, so I'll introduce you to them anyway. All right, guys, gotta go. Take care. See you later, guys. Love to you all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
First 10 people
Bye,
get
everyone.
199.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Let's stop the recording.
Well done.